Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we're discussing a model launched in 2018, and frankly, this is one of the earliest variants of it because the rubber bumper bracelets and cases were only made through about mid-2019. If you're looking for a rare version of the FP Journe Line Sport Chronographe Monopoussoir Rattrapante, this is a great example in titanium that embodies that lovely early rubber bumper aesthetic. 44 millimeters in diameter. The watch is not thick at all. It is actually almost a little bit shocking in how thin it is. Turning it in its profile, you can see that this watch right here is 12.1 millimeters thick, which makes it a little bit thinner than a Rolex Daytona by about 0.1 to 0.3 millimeters, depending on the model. So it's 44 by 12.1, and then I'm going to measure end link to end link because you can't really wear it without these bracelet links attached. So the total distance across the wrist is 53.4 millimeters. Now with every single link in the bracelet, let's take a quick look at how much this watch weighs. We've got an aluminum movement, an aluminum dial, a full titanium bracelet case and clasp. We're going to throw all this together, put it on the scale, and you can see a toy-like, let's see if we take the tag off, 74.1 grams. Okay, so that's the kind of mass we're looking at for a 44 millimeter watch. That is pretty close to best in class. And of course, it will be less once we size it down and remove the links. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. And I have to say, as light and thin as these are, they wear smaller than their rated size. Of course, the Line Sport models also have a distinct case shape, and that also helps. This wears nothing like, for example, the 42 millimeter vertical tourbillon. That's a genuinely huge watch. This doesn't feel that way. It will fit underneath cuffs. You can see it's flat enough that it will slide underneath the sleeve. I'd recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference, maybe even 14 if your wrist is more flat across the top than round. Taking a look at the bracelet, like I said, the aesthetic of the links with the bumpers went away fairly quickly, and like almost everything else Journe has ever done for a short period of time, subsequently became the one everyone wanted on a collectible basis. So in my experience, and the experience goes back to 2011 with the very first of the Line Sport models, these little rubber appendages hold up really well, and they do help to protect the finish of the case and the bracelet from marring contact. We have this sort of nickel anthracite color that's been characteristic of the titanium Line Sport watches since mid-2014. And then we've got a clasp, which is a double fold. You can see it features a spring-loaded ceramic pin snap. So because the titanium can never aggress against the ceramic and wear it down, this will always be a very snappy junction. And you can see that on both sides. Now this also has a 5 millimeter fold in, fold out, sort of easy link like tool-free adjustment. And you can see how that works right there. And so that allows you to take in or take out 5 millimeters without resorting to any kind of a tool. So just keep that in mind, that's there. Removable links, we've got a few of them, or fixed in place using screws. Pre-owned watch, as you can see. This screw seems to have unseated its shoulder, but goes right back into place. And then we have a case that's beautifully preserved. As you can see, through all of the DLC application, no scratches visible. The very narrow bezel insert for the tachymetric scale, that's actually a very small piece of ceramic, one of the few you'll find on a Journe watch. We have vintage-inspired rectangular chronograph pushers, and then a rubber-sheathed version of Journe's distinctive double dimple unbranded and knurled crown. The dial is made of a sort of darkened aluminum, and it is aluminum. Dial and movement here are both aluminum. And the dial features applique block variants of luminescent numerals. So you take a look, these things have length, width, and height. They're not simply printed on like the rest of the dial calibrations. And when you turn the light out, one of the main reasons you buy a Line Sport watch is that you want a Journe that's loomed. And then you can see that all those numerals do in fact have quite a bit of height over the dial. So you've got this lovely ruthenium colored aluminum dial with smoked sapphire centers, so you can see the running seconds, the chronograph minutes counter, and then the mechanisms that underpin them. And you'll note as we pass through the turn of the minute, Journe equipped us with a semi-instantaneous jump, and this is a split-second mono pusher, which means what appears to be the reset trigger is actually the trigger for the second hand. You can see how they have different colorations, so you can tell them apart quite easily. And so the way this all works is it allows you to time 2 events up to a minute in duration, well, 30 minutes in duration, but a split of time up to a minute in duration. That's how that works. Very crisp action. 2 column wheels, so you can see one for the primary, one for the secondary. This is your Rattrapante system right here with the clasping mechanism that stops the running center seconds that's superimposed over the primary. So you can see when I do activate the stop seconds function for the secondary seconds hand, those clinchers jump into place. This is the caliber 1518, 29 joules, manual wind, 3 hertz beat rate, free sprung, all aluminum, 80-hour power reserve, lateral clutch, 2 column wheels. And then on the dial side, one of the reasons people were so happy to greet the Chronographe Monopoussoir is that it marked the return of a date mechanism to FP Journe chronographs for the first time since the old octachronograph. So you can see it's an instantaneous jumping double-digit date, and there is a quick set mechanism so you can rapidly set that date if you wish to. You could set that date quite quickly, in fact. The finishing on the movement, like most recent Journe watches, is quite a step beyond what was featured on the earlier watches through the 2000s, so this is quite admirable. You can see that the lateral clutch here is actually of the oscillating pinion variety, which is a type of lateral clutch that has very little inherent place. When you start this chrono up, it is almost kind of like the seamless engagement of a vertical clutch system. And again, it's a 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate. The movement's big too, 33.6 millimeters in diameter, so it nicely fits this case hand in glove. Journe, of course, making his own cases, dials, and movements. So despite making less than 1,000 mechanical watches a year, a fully integrated manufacturer. It's 30 meters water resistant, so I recommend you not swim with it, but in every other regard, a very sporty, outdoor, activity-oriented take on Journe watchmaking. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.